Show effects. Enhancing creativity and imagination. A range of extraordinary freeform effects born from the heart of Italian fantasy and style, assisted by professional artists from all over the world to give you these fascinating proposals that combine passion and beauty with ease of application. Decordek and Old Fashioned, the two decorative texturing plasters that you can model and design as you please. The highlight is given with the incredible richness of the decordek Sogni line finishes, creating authentically exclusive, personalized finishes where the only limit is your fantasy. Drusi, Oriental threads, dragged fil posé effect. Recreate the atmosphere of precious Oriental thread from the ancient Silk Route, a dragged fil posé effect that will fascinate at a glance. Apply a base coat of Fondo Universale tint to the same tone you will employ for the finish. Apply a coat of decordek colored with the selected tinter using either a short pile roller or a trowel to reach a thin, uniform thickness. Before the product dries, run the decordek dragging pad down the wall, then back, or in the desired direction to create the charming ribbed effect. Clean the pad frequently when texturing. Once the plaster is well dry, you can sponge on one or more colors, choosing the scheme, stains or metallic effects from the decordek finishes that best suit your inspiration. Velay, Velay Silver and Gold, Sogni SK or Shade L. It is advisable to run the sponge in the sense of the ribs and to create a broken color effect, forming magnificent nuances and allowing the various beautiful tones to show through. Your creation will be a real work of art. Bressi, the textured damask effect finish. The rich and refined textured damask effect finish that will impart your personal stamp and establish a mood to any room. Using either a short pile roller or a stainless steel trowel, apply an even coat of decordek colored to the desired tone. Allow this coat to dry, then apply irregular patches of product by sea sponge to create the desired damask design effect in relief. These reliefs can be tone on tone or in a darker hue as preferred, simply adding more of the tinter to the tone used before. After about 15 to 20 minutes, lightly trowel down the surface with a dry trowel to polish the created reliefs. Once the Brécy texture is well dry, you can decide to sponge on further color effects to create a more harmonic finish, choosing the stains or metallic accents from the Adicolor finishes you prefer: Velay, Velay Silver and Gold, Sogni SK or Shade L. It is always advisable to create a broken color effect, allowing the nuances of each coat of color and effect to show through, enhancing the beauty of the work you have created. Moonlight, the captivating lunar texture. A captivating lunar texture to highlight your wall and express your personality. With the use of a short pile roller, a plastic trowel or a stainless steel trowel, apply a smooth, even coat of the special Adicolor modeling plaster decordek. After about 10 minutes, before the product starts to dry, roll over the surface with a fine or medium grain sponge roller. When the textured plaster just starts to dry, lightly trowel down the surface to flatten off the higher ridges, but leaving some holes to show. You can give more or less pressure to the trowel so as to create areas with a smoother finish and others with less. After at least 6 hours, when dry, you can sponge on one or more colors, choosing a combination of glazes, pearls or metallic effects from the many Adicolor finishes you have available: Velay, Velay Silver and Gold, Sogni SK or Shade L. It is always advisable to create a broken color effect, infusing nuances of subtle glows and allowing the various tones of color and created effects to show through. Creating depth and movement to your wall. Moonlight, an Adicolor effect that will give your interiors a new life and a new light as never seen before. Andur, the worn stone effect. Express the individuality within you. Add life and interest to your wall by creating an effect that will resemble an aged, worn stone. With the use of a stainless steel trowel, apply an even rendering coat of decordek, white or coloured as preferred. You can allow this coat to dry or proceed wet on wet. Dabbing on irregular patches of product with a sea sponge. After about 20 to 25 minutes, trowel down the surface high parts with a dry trowel to reach the polished stone effect of your liking. After about 6 hours, when well dry, you can decorate your Andur design by sponging on one or more colour effects, selecting from the Adicolor finishes that are most appealing: Velé Silver and Gold, Sogne SK or Shadayel. The finish will result more harmonic if you create a broken colour effect, forming nuances and allowing the various tones to show through. Select the scheme from the glazes, pearl or metallic accents that will enhance the effect, giving a special charm. Andur texture, your fantasy, and the splendid colours Adicolor proposes will work wonders for you and for your interiors. Vag, waves left by the wind. Create fascinating sculptured waves and designs like signs left by a swirling wind. Vag will inspire the most unique solutions. With the use of a plastic or a stainless steel trowel, apply a smooth coat of Adicolor decordek, white or coloured as preferred. When the coating has dried, or even before total drying, add some wet product to the trowel, rest it flat on the wall surface, and drag it diagonally across the wall repeatedly to create an effect to your liking. It could be also horizontally or vertically if you prefer. After about 4 or 5 hours, when the created vague design is well dry, you can sponge on one or more colours, choosing from the Adicolor finishes that are the most appealing: Velay, Velay Silver and Gold, Sogni SK or Shadayel. It is advisable to create a broken colour effect, forming nuances and allowing the various tones to show through. Select your scheme from stains, pearl or metallic accents that will enhance the effect, giving an unbelievable creative effect. Wood Dream, the warm wood graining effect. Creating a warm wood grain effect that looks authentic is today made simple with this intriguing Adicolor technique. Using a short pile roller, a plastic trowel or a stainless steel trowel, apply a thin and even coat of decordek, white or tinted as preferred. After about 10 minutes, before the product starts to dry, drag the curved wood graining pad down the surface. Slowly and gently rock it back and forth in the descent to accent the natural veins of wood. Return to the top and repeat the descent alongside the previous one, cleaning the pad after every pass. After about 20 minutes, lightly trowel down the surface to soften the effect and remove any excess ridges. Once the textured plaster is well dry, using a smooth sponge, proceed with application of an unthinned coat of Adicolor Velay glaze in the tones we have proposed, or according to your inspiration. A second coat of Velay will give a darker effect and more depth and movement to your artistic and creative work. Reptiles, the exotic crocodile skin effect. Nature, design and fantasy, the exotic crocodile skin effect that will enliven even the most staid setting. Apply a base coat of Fondo Universale tinted to the same tone of tinta you will employ for the finish. Using a short pile roller, a plastic trowel or a stainless steel trowel, apply an average thick and smooth coat of decordek that you have tinted to the chosen colour. After about 10 to 15 minutes before the product starts to dry, run the wet Adicolor crocodile skin effect roller down the surface in a single pass from top to bottom using average pressure. Clean the roller well, wet it well, then roll down again alongside the previous design. Continue in this way till the full pattern is created. Before the created design has dried, you can lightly trowel down the surface to soften the effect. Once well dry, you can sponge on other colours to create a more realistic reptiles effect finish, choosing the pearls or metallic effects you fancy from the Adicolor finishes, Velay Silver and Gold, Sogni SK or Shade L. It is advisable to create a broken colour effect, forming nuances and allowing the various tones of colour to show through. Let fantasy and nature be your guides and Adicolor be your choice. Sutai, the vibrant, dragged fantasy effect. The modern and vibrant dragged fantasy effect that will turn a plain white wall into a warm and personal space inspired by the past. Apply a base coat of Fondo Universale, coloured with the same tinta you will use for the texture. Colour the old-fashioned texturing plaster in the same selected tone of tinta and apply by using a short pile roller, a plastic trowel or a stainless steel trowel to reach an average and uniform thickness. Before the product dries, run the Adicolor dragging pad down the wall, then back and forth, or in the desired direction, to create the ribbed design effect. Clean the pad frequently during this operation. After about 20 to 25 minutes, lightly trowel down the surface with a wet trowel, always kept clean while using, and moving it in the direction of the ribs created. When the plaster is well dry, you can enhance the beauty of Sutai effect by sponging on one or more colours, choosing the glazes, pearl or metallic effects from the Adicolor finishes that you like most. Velay Silver and Gold, Sogni SK or Shade L. It is advisable to run the sponge in the sense of the ribs and to always create a broken colour effect, forming nuances and allowing the various tones of colour to show through, creating a truly beautiful sense of depth, warmth and glow. Rockfall, the stone and rock effect. A spectacular stone and rock effect that will make even the simplest wall look magically stunning and opulent. Using a plastic or a stainless steel trowel, apply an even render coat of Adicolor old-fashioned, white or coloured as preferred. When the coat is dry, or even wet on wet, add other irregular layers of product to build the texture, creating the desired distressed effect to simulate rock, stone or slate. After about 20 minutes, you can model the texture or lightly smooth off the surface with the same trowel kept clean and wet to reach the effect of your liking. After about 6 hours, once the plaster is well dry, you can sponge on one or more colours, choosing from the glazes, pearls or metallic Adicolor finishes that best suit your inspiration. Vellet Silver and Gold, Sogni SK or Shadéel. It's advisable to create a broken colour effect, forming nuances and allowing the various tones of each colour to show through. Combining Adicolor effect finishes, a touch of creativity and your own talent, and you'll easily achieve a truly splendid result. Shana, the Biel stone effect. If you are seeking a more personalized substitute for the ordinary, create a feature wall with a natural-looking Biel stone effect. Apply a base coat of Fondo Universale thinned with 15 to 20% water and colored with 2/3 of Tinta Color DT25 in every 2 liters. This will be the color of the joint marks that will show through when finished. Mark out the irregular and varied shapes of the stone slabs using 10 or 15 mm paper masking tape, following an established design or according to your fantasy. Tint the Adicolor Old Fashioned with 1 DTO4 every 4 litres and apply to the entire surface with a plastic or stainless steel trowel, creating the desired textured effect in an irregular thickness of about 2 to 4 millimeters. Once dry, inspired by the natural and diverse tones of real bio stones, proceed with the application of other colours of Velay in a random technique, by sponge or with the Adicolor glove. You can add darker tones of colour here and there to reach the desired final effect. Carefully remove the masking tapes. To proudly display the fascinating Shana effect you have created with this fascinating Adicolor effect. Shana, the faux brick effect. Bricks are the core of our building history. You can now create the charming atmosphere of a brick wall within your home, easily and quickly. Apply a base coat of Fondo Universale, thinned with 15 to 20% water and coloured with 2/3 of Tintacolor DT25 in every 2 litres. This will be the colour of the joint marks that will show through when your work is finished. Mark out the bricks using 10 or 15mm paper masking tape, bearing in mind that standard bricks are sized about 8 by 12 by 24 centimetres. To make the classic red brick effect, add 1 Tintacolor DT18 to every 4 litres of Adicolor Old Fashioned and apply with a plastic or stainless steel trowel over the entire surface to a thickness of about 3mm, reaching the desired surface texture. Once the textured plaster is well dry, using a sponge or with the Adicolor glove, apply the first colour of Velay glaze tinted with 1 Tintacolor DT18 to every 750 ml can of Velay to reach a varied pattern and let dry. Inspired by the natural and diverse tones of real bricks, proceed with the application of other colours of Velay in a random technique to reach the desired final effect. Carefully remove the masking tapes and admire the beauty of your Shana brick effect that Adicolor and you have created. Shana, the Etruscan Tuff Effect. A unique and sophisticated Etruscan Tuff Effect design wall that will embellish any background. Apply a base coat of Fondo Universale thinned with 15 to 20% water and coloured with 2/3 Tintacolor DT25 every 4 litres, or a different tone to get a cement-like colour that will be the joint marks visible at the end of the job. Create the design of the block marks using 10 or 15mm paper masking tape according to your planned design. Add the chosen tone of tinta to the Adicolor Old Fashion and apply with a roller or by plastic or stainless steel trowel to a thickness of about 3 to 4 millimeters. After about 20 to 30 minutes, before drying, use the Adicolor dragging pad to dab over the coating in an irregular manner, forming the typical little holes of tuff. Wait for about 10 to 15 minutes, then lightly smooth off unevenly the reliefs with the Desiree Distender. Carefully remove the masking tapes. Once dry, you can randomly brush apply an additional colored staining effect over the surface with Velay or Velay Silver and Gold in the chosen tone to reach the desired creative look. After another 2 to 3 hours, a second tone can be applied in the same way, always trying to achieve a harmonic, broken color effect. And be surprised by the splendor of the Shana effect you have produced using the creative Adicolor effect finishes.